Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Just for those of you who were like shocked and appalled and screaming at the screen in the last video, I did notice when I was like watching the video back that I had made like a screw up on Yuna's sphere grid. I think it was one of these that I forgot. I think it was this one, the magic defense by 3 points, or else I think it was that one that I kind of like left behind. But thankfully I had like a save file from before I did the sphere grid, but after I did the grinding. So I just went back and did it and got that again. Not that it would have been like the biggest deal, but it's still like, especially after I'd spent so much time saying, well, your only objective is not to screw things up on the sphere grid at this point, and then I go ahead and do it. So anyway, one thing also that I forgot, or that I didn't one other thing that I didn't realize was that I actually have like other equipment that I'm after picking up for different characters. So we have here for Tidus, we have like the blue shield for Water Ward and the metal shield for defense. Water Ward can be handy, especially potentially coming up, depending on like circumnavigating that a different way anyway. So actually the Serum Arm Guard for Waka, which I basically just won these in the battles around here. Bright Bangle for Dark Ward, that's pretty much as good as useless on a magic user like Lulu, but I mean the defense plus 5% and the HP 5%, and especially like Poison Ward, that's going to be useful. So yeah, hey Lulu.
We could throw 100 Crusaders at it and still lose.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, that's just going to show you what kind of caliber the Crusaders actually are. No wonder Choppu went ahead and got his ass handed to him. Because, I mean, we're just, what, 5 people and we're going to go up against this thing. It's like, how crap must they be? Now, what I'm going to do first is... Well, do you know what I might do, actually? I might, since I have haste, I completely didn't realize that I actually was going to get access to haste after doing that grinding. What you want to do is you want to make sure to inflict silence on this guy, because otherwise he's going to be, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do your overdrive. I haven't shown off Ronso Rage yet. Should I do jump or seed cannon? I guess seed cannon, let's go for it. 673 damage. Like, seriously, like, Kamari has gone crazy here. I might as well show off, like, Waka's overdrive as well. Okay, I have to concentrate here. Okay. There we go. Okay, so obviously you try and stop it on the element that you want to use on the enemy, and here, obviously, since he's a plant, we're going to want to stop it on fire to inflict as much damage as possible. Now, because poison is so like devastating, I'm going to wait a second. How much like? Okay, he's still good. I'm going to go ahead and like cure Tidus as quickly as possible. Like poison, it's funny. Like in other Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy VI and things like that, you get like inflicted with the sap status, and it's like really who cares, you know? Like you just go ahead and. You just go. Is there really much point in using? Would it be more my line to do is just attack him, and then as soon as like Yuna can, just like get her out of here and get Lulu in instead. Because I'm gonna want to switch into Yuna as quickly as possible soon enough. Actually, I might as well even do it now at this stage. Because one of the things you're going to want to do, but I might as well haste Lulu while I'm at it. One of the things you're going to want to do in this battle to make it a lot easier is you're going to want to, well, I might as well do it now, as I say. He's down to like 2,191. Might as well like summon Val for it now. Because he's going to start using attacks that he's going to basically, what he's going to do is put himself to sleep and like pretty much like using rest like in Pokemon, and regain pretty much like upwards of like 700 and 800 HP per turn, and you do not want that to happen, so you're going to want to wake him up as quickly as possible. But his counter to being woken up is that he uses an Earthquake attack, so then obviously you're going to want to have like Valfor here, because since he's a flying type Pokemon pretty much, like that's not going to make too much of an issue. See, here he falls asleep, Might even like go ahead and just finish this with Valform. We want to see 862 damage. I can't be dealing with that. It's like how many other times do you get the chance to actually use an Aeon in battle? I'm not the kind of guy that likes to just like send them out and use them and abuse them and then get rid of them. See, Valfor has access to fire as well, so we're going to be able to just like fire him away. Even though what we're going to want to do soon enough is we're going to want to... See, this is why I was casting, like, I can actually afford to take another one of those, and then I'll be able to use Energy Ray and maybe overkill him. That'd be crazy. Overkill Lord Ochu. What are the chances? See, I'm up there now. Go on, do it. I'm immune to poison as well. See, that's another reason you want to go ahead and use Valfor. The poison immunity will really work in your favor. Suck on this, Lord Ochu. 1500 damage, Jesus, and an overkill. There we go. As Oren would say, that's how it's done. I don't think like I think that was a pretty like top shelf display of how to take on the Ochu there, the Belladonna one. So what that probably is, it's probably some staff for unit that has Poison Strike or some crap that you're never going to want to use.
A summoner and her guardians. Very impressive.
You're more impressive than 100 of you losers.
We'll get our chance soon enough.
Yeah, you better believe it, Gotta. Despite your track record, I mean, here they are going like, oh, we'll beat Sin into the ground, and like, I don't think we've had one story whatsoever so far of them being successful. Do you know what I might as well say? Though I guess, like, we don't see, like, that being said, we don't see, like, a lot of what the Crusaders do, you know? I mean, all we see in the course of the game is, like, stuff like that, where it's like, oh, 100 of us can't take on Lord Ochu. And then it's like, and then they just look like idiots then because of that. But, like, I guess, like, what we don't see is all the stuff that they do, like, for local... Like, hear mine, all the stuff the Crusaders do for local communities. But I guess they do stuff for local communities. I still can't get over Kamari. Like, all that damage he's been doing, though I shouldn't be surprised what was his, like, the crazy amount of strength power-ups we gave him. Lulu's still not overkilling those guys, well, it's okay. We don't need the experience anyway, at least not of a chump like that. But yeah, I guess we don't, like, see the stuff that, like, the Crusaders do just for the local community, like, when like, bits of Sin spawn show up in your area. Like, Yuna and her guardians aren't going to be there to take it out, you know? Like, what you're going to need then is you're going to need the Crusaders. I'll be dead, is what I'll be. How many more... Like, I can't believe I've started saying that so often now. Okay, I'll just get rid of this bee first, because I don't need this idiot, like, poisoning me all the time. See, look, he's, like, overkilling those things now, and it's ridiculous. I'm going to, like, start getting to the point where, like, I will be cutting out the battles here, so don't worry. I know I've shown, like, a battle that pretty much looks like this about 10 times at this stage, but I will start cutting them out. Just kind of like, for me, it's going to be a challenge to get back into that frame of mind like I was in for Final Fantasy VI, where you just get used to stop talking as soon as you see the glass break, like, psh, and then I'm just going to have to remember to shut my mouth until this point after the battle, which is going to wreak havoc on my train of thought, but I guess I might as well start getting used to it now. Just got, like, an alternate path up here that goes up by this beautiful river, like, the way it's just, like, glass. There's actually, like, a part of the river, like, on the way into Cork City that looks like that some mornings, and, like, some mornings it's, like, really misty and foggy, and you just see, like, the fog, like, rising up off the river, and the river is just, like, glass, and it's just one of the most beautiful things. Oh, wow, I thought that was Waka for a while. It's like, I thought you were calling me Waza. Do you want screw this battle and screw the AP? It's like, I want to get the next part of the game in this video if I can. But yeah, I'm kind of glad, like, the Ochu battle went as, like, as well as it did. I mean, actually, that Ochu battle couldn't have gone any better, if you ask me. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that's how it's done. Oh, hey there, you guys are up here training.
These stone steps have a history, you know.
Yeah, this is where Lord O'Holland, like, climbed up, like Rocky or something. It's like O'Holland Drive is what they should call it. Just look at you guys there.
A race, huh?
A race I'm gonna win. I hope you're periscoping this, Kamari, because I'm gonna win.
Ready?
Classic. Oh. It's so nice to see Yuna just enjoying herself, do you know? Yeah, kids. Who knows what the other one's thinking? Jeez. One of them's got a short fuse, and who knows what the other one's thinking. Well, do I really need to save here? No, I don't. I just want to heal. After those, like, piddly little battles just there.
Everyone, quick! Sin spawn!
Yeah, and where are the Crusaders now when we need them? They're down there being like, we'll drive Sin into the ground. Then here we are, we have Flagra up here making a nuisance of himself. Is what he's like. And like, who has to save the day again? Not the Crusaders, it's Yuna and her Guardians all over again. Now, as I say, I have haste, so what I'm going to do is, actually the smarter move is to go ahead and haste Titus, because that means he's going to be able to get haste on the other characters more quickly. Now these tentacles, basically, you're going to have to take them out first. You're going to have to take them out first before you can even attack this thing, because the actual Sin Spawn itself, it says it's vulnerable to magic, but it's not going to be able to... It's not going to be able to, It says it's vulnerable to magic, but those tentacles will absorb any magic attacks that you actually try and use on it. So what you're going to want to do first is before... Now, what are they weak against? Half by electricity and thing. Okay, so you're going to want to use fire on it, basically. So you're pretty much, like, since they, like, absorb... the meat just absorbs all the space, since they'll just absorb all the space. What you're going to want to do is take them out first before anything else. So 2 fire attacks should do it at this stage, with Lulu doing the amount of damage that she's doing. Now the other thing you have to be careful of is the fact that they're going to be able to... Can I actually do this on this guy now, as it is? Okay, good, I silenced him already.
How about magic?
Well, we can magic it, but not yet. Don't you be sighing at me. That's gonna poison us all now. Is it? Okay, no. I'm getting extremely lucky here, actually, with how it's not... With how it's just not getting the poison in on us, either with the tentacles or with that thing. And it's funny, because you'll see, like, when the characters are hasted, like I'm doing right now, like, you'll see, like, their little Street Fighter, like, I'm ready animation will, do you know what, I should be getting, like, Yuna in here as well, shouldn't I, really? Because Yuna's going to be, mostly just because I want to be able to be in a position to haste her really easily with Titus here. Just in case anything does happen, like, I need, like, he poisons, like, 2 of our characters, and we need to, like, really quickly get that gone. That's what you're going to need Yuna to be hasted for. Okay, so now that they're gone, I might as well get Kamari in here and defend as well while I'm at it, or maybe get haste in on him even. Okay, so the boss didn't do anything. Oh, I don't even have enough left for haste. Okay, well, I can, like, I can cheer us on, can't I? Because pretty much, like, the physical attacks aren't going to do much damage to this guy. You're going to want to use fire on him with Lulu in order to get him to, like, come out of his shell. And this is one of the things that I really like about this game. Like, it really... Like, I like the active battle system of the other Final Fantasy games. So there's Flagra showing himself. I like the active battle system of the other Final Fantasy games. Now we can get Kamari in here doing ridiculous damage while we're at it. See, once he opens up, it's like you don't have anything to worry about. We can just pretty much just do whatever we want. Now the reason you want to be having... Now the reason you want to have silence on him as much as possible, and I think it's after running out at this stage, is it? Or maybe we just don't have anyone with sensor is what it is. The reason you want to have silence on him is basically just because... No, it is after running out, I think. The reason you want silence on him is because, just like Lord Ochu, if you don't have silence on him, he'll just go crazy using water attacks and things like that. And I guess that's the point where things like Null Tide might come in handy if you're another kind of player. But for me, it's just way easier to just silence him. I mean, if you just silence him, then he's not able to use water on any of your characters. If you use Null Tide, then you use it, and then it nullifies water for one go, and then you have to go ahead and cast it again. It's like, I don't have time for that. Anyway, that's him taken out, and in, well, not in record time, but that went quite well as well, if I must say so myself. As I say, oh yeah, take a breather, Titus. I think you deserve it. All that, like, sped up Street Fighter animation.
Sorry about that. Hope to break you in a little slower.
Being a guardian's tiring.
You handle yourself pretty well. You got talent.
Hey,
Dot doesn't have any talent.
what are these sin spawn anyway?
Fiends. They fall from Sin's body and are left behind in its wake.
Leave him alone and Sin comes back for him. You gotta be quick.
That moment when Waka told me I had talent in battle, I think that was when I started seriously considering becoming a guardian.
Alright, Magnum PI, just give us the ability points here. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I do like the active battle system. I'm just going to check what that is. It's probably like a bunch of garbage, but... Dark Touch, well, that actually might be useful, but I think like the strength plus 5 is overall a lot more useful to have. I like the active battle systems that they had in other Final Fantasy games, but I must say, like, for me, I love this kind of like strategy element to plotting out your attacks and who goes after whom and who does what when and stuff like that. It's just really, really fun. Yeah, they got a fiend called Jekt.
When one shows up, though. Hey, since when have you believed me about Xanarkin anyway?
Waka'll pretty much believe anything,
Maybe
so...
people Sin gets to don't die. Maybe Sin carries them through time, like 1,000 years through time. And then one day, maybe they just pop back, see?
Wishful
Amazing.
thinking, Waka.
Simply amazing. You make up one theory after another, refusing to face the simple truth. Sin didn't take Chapu anywhere. Sin crushed him and left him on the Jose shore. Your brother won't just pop back.
At least he wasn't left on the Jersey shore.
Oh, and one more thing. No matter how much you want it, no one can take Chapu's place. No one can replace Sir Jekt, for that matter. And there's no replacement for Lord Braska, either.
Jeez,
It's
like...
pointless to think about it. And sad.
Lulu's spilling the tea all over the place in this episode. It's like nobody's safe. It's like the only one she didn't, like... The only one she didn't take to the woodshed there was Kamari. It's...
Stuff happens. Best not to worry.
Goodness knows she could, like, go on at him
and
as
Waka's
well.
brother, Chapu. Something had happened between them a long time ago. I was sure of it. Well, whatever it was none of my business, that's for sure. Best not to go there.
Don't go there. Oh, wow. Yeah, she comes across as harsh Lulu, but, like, I don't know, I love her. Like, I think her character is just very... Like, she's been hurt is basically what it is. Like, it comes from an understandable place, really. But more on that later, viewers. Here we are at Mulholland Drive Temple. And everyone's having a party. Jimmy Carter's asleep on the couch. Anyway, here we are in Mulholland Drive Temple. We beat Lord Ochu, we beat the Sin Spawn. Killica Wood is a safer place all around. And yeah, I guess in the next part we'll explore the temple, pray for victory, and see what happens next. So thank you for watching this part of Let's Play Final Fantasy X. I'll see you next time. Bye now.